Okay, let me look at this golf real quick. I'm just mad about golf though, because I bet Matsuyama last week. He didn't even make the cut, this guy.
Well,
you know,
it's kind of like when you share the UFC with me. It's usually garbage.
You know, it's just like, you know what it is? I'm not mad about golf. I love golf. I think I'm mad at Wes Reynolds personally. Wes Reynolds, who's a mutant of a golf handicapper. The guy's awesome. But first he gave me Matsuyama. And all weekend long, I'm just like, thanks a lot, Wes. Nice pick. The guy didn't even make the cut. Then West Virginia didn't make the tournament on Sunday. And then Wes's school, Indiana, the Hoosiers, take West Virginia's coach. So I got all kinds of beef with Wes now. And I'm pissed at West. I didn't even know West Virginia was on the bubble. I was watching the selection show. I played golf.
We went to the bar. What a fan you are. You wear these ugly quarter zips and you didn't even know you guys were on the bubble?
That was a Peter Millar. They were not on the bubble. You don't know anything. There were 111 bracketologists, and 111 of them had West Virginia in the tournament. They were not on the bubble. I don't know why they didn't get in it. By the way, I was sitting at the LBCC bar after I golfed. They're better than Kansas State. So I played golf Sunday, sitting at the bar, watching the selection show, got recognized by another one of your fans. What's up? Forgot to tell you about that.
Okay,
but
great.
I didn't have any sound on this. Didn't have any sound on the selection show. And when the last bracket was read, I was like, wait a minute, did I miss the one with Mountaineers in it? Was I in the John or something? What the hell happened there?
First of all, January 25th, you guys lost by 13 in Manhattan, Kansas, in case you gave a shit. That's the only time we played you guys this season. You guys were at 19 and 13, and you lost every other game, including the first game in the Big 12 tournament to Colorado as a favorite. You guys played slow. You don't have any offense. It's abysmal. You can't get a board, and you can't hit a three-point shot, and you wanted to be in March Madness. Okay, great.
I don't acknowledge that Kansas State loss. I don't recall that. If I don't remember something, I just pretend it never happened. So I don't acknowledge that.
And as far as your coach goes, it's called karma. It's called karma. Do you remember when Bob Huggins came to Manhattan, Kansas for one season and then left and went to West Virginia? It just all comes full circle.
So you hate West Virginia. So you hate West Virginia the way I hate.
Over this.
Yeah. Okay. So you've got a grudge. You got like an axe to grind against me the way I have one to grind against Wes Reynolds. That's really what you're saying. So Kelly sent me this thing today. It's all about how West Virginia's star player played, 7 or 8 games, which was the maximum you can play without losing your red shirt. Then he was shut down by the coach, his dad. Didn't play again for the rest of the season.
Caveat.
And now will be joining his father at Indiana next season, where he'll probably be the best player on the Hoosiers. Suspicious, man. That's pretty suspicious.
Well, especially because it's a non-basketball injury. Like, how did he get hurt? What was wrong with him? Mm-hmm. It was undisclosed? Do we know?
I don't know, man.
I don't know. Put on your tinfoil hat.
I think I got a pretty good idea. Indiana realized they were going to fire Mike Woodson. Indiana's got a shitload of NIL money, and Indiana's probably paying this guy money next season, right? I mean, is that?
Are you accusing Indiana of tampering?
What do you think?
Are you accusing them of tampering?
No. Absolutely not. I just said that's what I think. You told me to put on my tinfoil hat.
Okay.
You told me to put on my tinfoil hat. That's all I'm doing.
All right, good. I'm going to put on my tinfoil hat.
So we're catching you in between vacations for once. Where were you most recently?
Post 2 vacations, and I'm in hell right now. I feel like I'm still on a boat. If I'm like moving off camera, I'm sorry. I Googled it and said up to 48 hours you feel this way. And I'm like, I don't like this feeling.
Where was your cruise to? Where'd you guys go?
It was just a quick cruise, 5 days. Went to Miami, Dominican Republic, a couple of sea days, and then Bimini yesterday. It was cool.
I've actually been to Bimini. I've been to Bimini before. Very nice. Not on a cruise though. You know, Kelly
I would
obviously
prefer to like go on like a private boat or a plane, like a little seaplane to get there, but
no, I was in we were at a private home. Bimini, it was very nice. It was a long time ago. Where are you going on your next trip? Do you have that penciled in?
I don't know. I got the Tuesday
this
scaries
weekend?
yesterday on Bemini, and I was like, there's no way I'm going to Vegas for the Final Four. And I went on the Southwest app and canceled my flights. And then I got an email from you saying we can't wait to see you until the Final Four. We have all of this great announcements. And I'm like, oh, God, please don't make me go to Vegas right now.
No, that's not exactly what happened. So we did have a meeting on Saturday where we finalized our football contest plans for 2025. So we're going to run 4 football contests this fall. And I wanted, obviously, Kelly is the star of our company, the face of it, the breadwinner. And I was hoping that she could do videos talking about the 4 contests. Ideally, I thought it would have been cool for you to do it at Allegiant Stadium. Westgate has a suite at Allegiant Stadium. But because you're not coming to Las Vegas, maybe you could find, are you vacationing anywhere Final Four weekend?
No.
Are you going to be like in a pool?
I need to not like go anywhere for like at least like a good like 3 weeks, which is kind of like Final Four.
You know, you realize that's a very short period of time to be home for a normie. You know, I know for you that'd be like a long time, but for us working class jabronis, that's like a normal amount of time, or actually that's a very short amount of time.
It's like it's about to be the off season, so that's when you got to like get your vacations in. That's when you got to go and do those things.
No, I agree with that. I don't know that the day before March Madness is the off season. I would probably have to disagree with you a little bit on that. And I did
kind of like squeezed it in there. I didn't mean to.
I was on BetQL Daily with Sam Paniatovich and Joe Ostrowski yesterday, and we might have made fun of you and Ariel for being on vacation on the eve of March Madness.
We didn't miss anything. You don't think they have the games on in the casino?
What about the first 4 last night? I said North Carolina.
Yeah, we were watching them in the casino. I was watching from High Limit. They had them on the huge. They put all the TVs together. It was huge. It was great.
Okay. So
this is like 1984 in the middle of the ocean. Like, it's 2025. Of course they had the games on.
What about, do you want to talk about the contest at all? I mean, I don't want to give away too much.
Well, I'm really excited for one in particular, but I mean, either I'm going to make the announcement or we're just going to make the announcement now. So you decide.
We might as well just tell people there's going to be a college football contest. There's going to be a college football against the spread contest. I'll let Kelly is like the star vehicle around here. I'll let her announce all the details whenever she does those videos, but there will be a college football contest. There will be a survivor contest, but they're going to look different than the other contests that you're used to. Kelly, what you're more into the college football than the survivor. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely. But I've been asking for like a big college football contest, and I tried to do one last year with our friends at Splash, and just like this year in March Madness, it just is like people don't always want to pony up the nickel, right? And I get it. Like not everybody is a degenerate like myself. But
true.
I'm excited for the college football contest. They're at the Westgate SuperBook, and I cannot wait to enter. And then a couple of the other ones on the list I think are going to be really interesting as well.
I think it's going to be really good. 4 contests. One of them is going to be a college football against the spread contest. Kelly and I did a survivor college contest last season that proved to be easier than I think either of us realized, because apparently college football favorites don't lose games. That's what it turns out. So we're probably going to change that next season, right? Because Splash. Kelly did a great job. Again, she filled the Kelly and Murray Survivor College Basketball Tournament contest. You filled that like 24 hours before the tournament started. How did you do that?
Like 36. It filled last night, I think, at some time. Speaking of, we got to figure out who we're going to take for the first round, because we have 4 entries in ours, and then we have 4 entries in the $1 million guaranteed, which, by the way, let me double check this so I don't misspeak. As it stands right now on Wednesday night at 6:30 p.m., there's like $410,000 overlay right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's only 5,900 entries. That's a pretty big overlay. I'm going to be keeping an eye on that. I might be might be getting a couple more entries in there as well. I mean, $1
Tell
million
me-
bucks guaranteed.
That's a lot of money. That could be like your vacation budget for like the rest of 25 and 26.
No, but if Florida does win the national championship, I've got to figure out where I want to go. I think it's gonna be awesome. But here I'm looking at for round 1 Survivor.
Yeah, give me your thoughts on Survivor, please, kid.
Wisconsin.
Okay, they play Montana now.
Yep. Because I don't have Wisconsin going very deep. So what's wrong with using them now? If I have them losing in the second round. Texas A&M. This one's tough because I think Yale's kind of a square dog, but they were last year too. And guess what? They won outright. Clemson.
Okay.
Oregon. Dana Altman's Oregon Ducks. He's very good against the spread, at least in the first 2 rounds.
First one. Yeah.
And
Dana Altman's a great coach.
Yes, he is.
That guy's awesome.
And then I like Mizzou against Drake. I don't have Mizzou going very deep, but I think Drake's defense isn't going to have any answers for Mizzou's offense. So those are
a little surprising to hear a Kansas native recommending Missouri. It's my understanding that those two states really butt heads.
We don't really hate each other. It's just like KU and Mizzou fans hate each other.
Well, no, because my friends from Kansas, I'm talking mostly about your mutual friend, Andy Samuelson.
Yeah, the KU fans are the ones that hate Missouri.
Yeah, but he just doesn't like the state of Missouri. It's not necessarily the.
I never go there. Why would I ever go there? I have no reason to go there.
You've never gone to a Kansas City Chiefs game or a Kansas City Royals game?
I've been to 3 Broncos games at Arrowhead. Broncos 3-0 there, in case you cared, at least with my attendance. I've been to 1 Royals game ever. I don't do baseball. We know this.
I love baseball. Can't wait for baseball season to start. Okay, so we'll have to talk about that tonight. Kelly and Murray's Survivor already filled up thanks to Kelly's star power. Did anybody sign up for all 133 entries that were available to them?
That would be really funny. I doubt it, but I'll ask the Splash guys. Also, I know a lot of people were pissy with me today. They're like, "Oh, I was going to sign up." I'm like, "Well, why'd you wait till like the second to the last day?" But we are going to do a revival like I did last year. I think it'll be really good, especially because somehow, some way, one of these 5 Survivor picks I just gave out, probably only one of them is actually going to win outright.
Well, I don't know about one of them, but I can tell you that from our perspective, the sportsbook, we definitely are going to want a team like the ones Kelly just listed to lose, right? Because if all those teams win, then you're just going to get overrun with these moneyline parlays. We talk about it every year in every sport. That's really what it comes down to. Moneyline parlays are more popular than ever, really. And I know that the teams that Kelly mentioned are going to be very popular in money lines. I think Maryland will be a popular money line pick. Arizona will be you mentioned Oregon, certainly agree with that. Kentucky will be a popular money line pick in their game. So we're going to need one of these teams to lose, or we're going to be screwed, right? And then I'll make a TikTok video complaining about how we lost. You know what I mean? And then everybody will be like, "Oh my God, this guy is such a crybaby bitch," complaining that they lost. You know?
Yeah, but TikTok does love and hate you. But I like that you said that Kentucky and Maryland too, because I never do a bracket. I only do bets. But the Viva guys were like, "Hey, can you do the Viva bracket challenge?" And I said, "Sure, no problem." And I actually picked both of those guys losing in the first round. So maybe I should be looking at that for my moneyline underdog parlay, because I've only got 2 legs that I somewhat like. I think Oklahoma is going to beat UConn.
Okay. Well, you hate UConn. You don't like UConn.
Since when do I hate UConn?
I kind of picked up on that all year. I know you so well. I've been doing this nonsense with you for so long. I can tell when you hate a team. I know you don't like. You just don't like them.
No, you stress me out.
Stress you out. You got back from a 5-day vacation. What the hell are you stressed about, man?
Yeah, hi.
You're like,
what part of a vacation do you think that was? Tell me at what point in time do you think that? So I have an Aura ring. I finally, like the third night, I was like, I'm done with this negativity. It's like, you are 41% recovered. It's like, no shit. We went to bed at 2 a.m. and we got up at 7.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie? Have you seen the movie The Heartbreak Kid with Ben Stiller? When he becomes a perma vacationer, he opens like a sporting, like not a sport. He had a sporting goods store in the Bay Area, and he sells it. He moves to, I think, Cabo or Cancun, one of those two, and he opens like a by the sea store, like scuba gear, stuff like that.
Yes.
And they call him it's really funny. It's before Ben Stiller went like totally off the fucking radar, like grid. He's like nuts now. But back in 2007 or whatever, he was really funny. And I always think of you, the perma vacationer, and then that's Stiller in the movie. It's a really good movie. Danny McBride's in that movie too. Have you been keeping up on The Righteous Gemstones?
No, because like what I like to do is save all these shows for the summertime. Like
So good.
I'm behind on White Lotus, 1923. Yep. Like I've got like all these, and I'm like, you know what? I'll just wait till after March Madness, and then you can binge watch. Because there is nothing more annoying than like watching one episode, and you're like, I gotta wait a whole fucking week to watch this. That sucks.
Well, I was out of town when the first episode of Righteous Gemstones came out. So on my day off this week, I watched the first two. Terrific. It's just an absolutely terrific show. With Danny,
insane.
It's so funny.
Insane.
Danny McBride. All right, let me try to get on track. What are your favorite picks for week one? Sorry, I'm in football mode. What are your favorite picks for round one? And then I can run through a few things I've seen here, and then I jotted down a bunch of sharp prop bets that we've seen here. Tournament long props, I should say, because I know like your producers. Johnny the Unit Hoagland and Louis D'Onofrio, they always want me to use like buzzy terms that they can clip, like sharp. So I got sharp picks. But what are your picks?
Is that the new odds logic screen is going off in the background?
No, I just got an email.
Oh.
I just got an email from the Nevada Parimutuel Association.
Oh, that sounds awful. But remind me to.
I like horse racing. I don't agree with that at all. I'm a big fan. I'm going to Del Mar at the end of July. I can't wait. Disagree.
Okay. All right. I'm excited to hear what you've got to say. I will rattle through the games that I already bet as soon as I hit land this morning. Went on the app available here in Florida that is connected to my Pickett account. So if you follow me there, you guys already have all of these. I bet 6 games for the first 2 days. I got a piss poor number on Georgia. I should have waited. I got Georgia +6. There's some 7s available now. I laid 4.5 with the University of Kansas. I have Oklahoma +5.5. I laid 14.5. Mm-hmm. No, I did not. Yes, I did. I laid 14.5 with Arizona. I can't even read my own shitty handwriting.
You know what you bet on?
Yeah, I got it
right
here.
When you go to watch the games, tomorrow, do you even know what bets you have?
Yes,
or do
that's
you just,
why I have this handy dandy app right here. You place 6 NCAA bets right here. You see that? And it says it's a pain in the ass. We're gonna have to learn how to mute your stuff.
I'm an important guy. What do you want?
You're ridiculous. All right. So we also have Wofford +18.5. And then I laid 6 with Mizzou.
6 with Mizzou. Kelly mentioned at the start of that listing of picks, Georgia. And I thought that is a window for me. My shtick is I'm always complaining. That's my bit. Houston is a team Kelly and I bet to win it all. I'm not happy that they have to potentially play Gonzaga in the second round. What is that?
Yeah. I don't think Gonzaga is that good this year.
So you don't think that's a bad draw to play Gonzaga in round 2?
No, I think it's even worse that Florida has to play Texas Tech. I felt really good about Florida getting the 1 seed. By the way, I'll say this, the odds are garbage. 8 decks in a shoe and single deck and can't double and split. Those types of those international water rules, or like Aruba or the Bahamas, like the casinos are just different than they are in the United States. Right. I literally was watching the game on the table. I had my phone propped up watching the Florida-Tennessee game, playing blackjack, heads up with the dealer, dropping F-bombs, getting hammered. So it was great.
Very ladylike.
Yeah, but
it sounds very ladylike.
The Westgate has a long leash for me. They let me just kind of get, but they wouldn't let me tell a guy to fuck off who stayed on a 9.
Oh, well, you know that I'm buddies with our table games director, Lenny Pinto III.
Yes. Lenny's
and
great.
I don't. Oh, he's awesome. But I wouldn't want you bothering him and his staff. F-bombs.
You're nice to them and the staff, but the guy didn't hit his 9. Ariel was like, all right, time to go to bed. Like, we can't be playing with like, you have $300 out there. He's got 15. She's like, this is why you can't play in Gen Pop, Kelly. You got to go to high limit.
Do you remember the scene in Casino when one of Nikki's goons has his feet up on the table? So De Niro's men take him and they use his head to open the door. Such a great scene. That could be you the next time you're at the Westgate. Lenny might have a couple of his goons take you out and just open the door with your head.
I'm just saying that I kind of like how lax the ship was in terms of me being an asshole. That's all.
Okay, I'm gonna give you 6 plays for round 1. I keep saying week 1. Am I just a football fan?
Probably.
Is that? I guess so. Montana plus 18. They're playing Wisconsin. Kelly had mentioned Wisconsin in Survivor. But remember, I'm talking about taking 18 points here. So I think both could win. Vanderbilt plus 4.5 against St. Mary's. Mississippi State -1 against Baylor. High Point plus 8 against Purdue. UCLA -4.5 against Utah State. And BYU -2.5 versus VCU. That's a pretty good game.
I like BYU there. I did not play them, but I do like them. One more time. Montana, Mississippi State, High Point, UCLA, BYU. Who else?
Vanderbilt against St. Mary's. I've seen a lot of these ticket count numbers on X, and I've seen especially like very lopsided ticket counts on the UC San Diego Michigan game. I went to the Big West Final on Saturday night, by the way. I saw UC San Diego beat UC Irvine in Henderson on Saturday night. UC San Diego looks pretty good, by the way. And Michigan won the Big Ten tournament. So that's a really high-profile game. I think it's the late game Thursday in prime time. We have exactly as many tickets on San Diego as we do on Michigan. I mean, to the number. So I don't know. I mean, I can't really report anything there. I don't know that it's going to be a particularly big decision for us. I mean, I think what we're just going to end up rooting for is, like I mentioned earlier, one of these favorites to lose. I mean, that's what it's going to come down to for us. Should be a lot of fun. Do you want me to do? The problem is here. The committee is voting on something, and I'm not voting because I'm talking to you. That's where all these emails are. I'll vote when the show's over. Do you want me to run through these? I only have 3 of them.
3 prop bets?
3 prop bets. These are season-long or tournament-long prop bets. Oregon to go further in the tournament than Clemson. They bet us at plus 170 and plus 140 on that one. We're all the way down to plus 110. Maryland to go further than Texas Tech. They took plus 80, plus 60, plus 30. And then I think this one's interesting. Over the total of the final four teams combined, their seeds over 9.5. That makes sense. So add up the 4 seeds of the final 4 teams. The sharp guys are betting that number will be more than 9.5, Kelly.
Okay.
And you're not gonna like this one. In the regionals, one really sharp one is Tennessee at plus 375 to win their region, which I believe, I don't have a bracket in front of me, but I'm pretty sure that's with Houston, no?
Yes.
Tennessee plus 375. Tennessee, nice win over Auburn. Auburn is floundering a little bit heading into the NCAAs. They lost their last 2 regular season games. They lost in the conference semifinals. They still got the number 1 overall seed. I don't know what the number 1 overall seed really means. I mean, if I could have any pick of a bracket, I would definitely take Duke's bracket. But they call Auburn.
Why Duke's bracket?
To me, eyeballing it looked like the most favorable of the 4. Which one?
I think Arizona is going to be really sneaky.
Okay. I just thought, I mean, I could be wrong, obviously, but
You're wrong a lot. It happens.
I'm always wrong. That's sort of the theme of the show. But I thought they got a somewhat favorable draw, personally. But they got Alabama, Wisconsin, and Arizona in their bracket. I didn't like Houston's draw. Kelly and I have talked about that. I thought Houston got a really tough draw. They'll play probably Gonzaga on Saturday.
Hopefully
and they'll
not.
play either probably Purdue or Clemson in the Sweet 16, and then either Tennessee or Kentucky in the regional final. So I think it's a tough draw for Houston. Kelly and I have a bet on John, and Louie have a bet on Houston to win it all, 10-1. We're going to bet the same amount on them to win and roll it over to try to prove me right this time. I was proven to be a total buffoon last time with Connecticut.
I gave that advice out today, and I said, listen, normally, basically every year that I've ever been alive, this has worked except for last year.
Last year, it didn't just not work last year. It was like
when you told me how much money you cost me, I thought about sending you a Venmo request.
It was like at least $1,500.
That's awful.
I know. Awful. And I should say we're not now. Kelly can obviously overrule me as the star of the show, but we're not going to do Houston plays SIU Edwardsville tomorrow.
No.
So we're not going to do the money line there. So we're going to start with the $500 on Saturday in round 2. Is that correct? And then we'll just roll it.
Correct.
Okay. Do you want to do the mailbag?
Mailbag. I'm ready to go to bed, John Murray. Jeremy 97. Could you recommend some of your favorite menu items at Naked City? Do they have a secret menu? Ooh, I don't know if they have a secret menu because I don't hardly ever get the menu when I go. Mm-hmm. Chris is there and he just brings stuff out. I know that I saw on Instagram they're going to be doing a lot more pasta stuff. Back in the day, Chris used to make me a bacon candle carbonara, which means you take the bacon grease and it hardens and it's like a little candle thing. And you light it with a wick and it melts like a candle does, and then you drizzle it over. So that was really good. And I don't know if that's a secret menu. I'm going to kill you with your email right now. I need you to mute that.
I'm sorry. I was there the night of UNLV Boise State, and we got up to the bar. We were having a beer before we walked over to Thomas and Mack, and the ladies next to us had all this pasta.
Yeah.
That I guess was new on the menu, and we were asking them about it. It looked pretty good, man. It looked really good.
I mean, Chris is a great chef.
I think so Chris's most famous sandwich is the beef on weck, or most well-known sandwich. So when I'm going over there and I'm feeling like calling in a favor for my man Chris, I'll ask him to make me a beef on weck pizza.
Oh,
that's awesome. That is not on the menu.
I did not know that was a thing.
If you can catch Paul Mary in a good mood, that is awesome. The beef on weck pizza. Haven't tried any of the pastas yet. I am going there on Saturday night with Sam Paniatovich.
Okay.
Your friend and mine, Sammy Paniatovich.
Yeah, they asked if I was going to be in Vegas, and I said no, thank God. Yeah, nice. I would go to Naked City. You can never go wrong with the wings or pizza, but just say that you're a fan of the show, and maybe Chris will
give you everything for free. He'll give you all the food for free.
Not for free. Stop it. At Die Hard MMA pod on X says going to need Jam's thoughts on Brady versus Edwards, of course.
We haven't seen anything from our top guy on that card, but there's a lot
the guy that just won some plus 150 underdog that you didn't share with the group.
No, it was plus 135. Plus 135. But we've taken a lot of money on Sean Brady. So Sean Brady, that price steamed up pretty high. I mean, he got all the way up to minus 170. Jeez. No, I'm sorry, minus 200. Oh my God. So that price went way up, and now it's come back down with all the money on Leon Edwards. My thoughts are I have no idea what's going to happen. I don't know.
Okay, great.
I have no idea what will happen. I can tell you that the co-main event, the favorite, has been steamed like crazy. Carlos Ulberg against Jan Blachowicz. That price has been bet up from 220 all the way to minus 310, which is shocking to me because I've always thought Blachowicz is really good. Or maybe it's Blachowicz. I think I'm channeling my inner Kelly here.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce these guys' names, so don't say I think it's something because I have no idea.
I don't know. You know what's funny about me too is I don't know any players' names in college basketball. I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't know why anybody asked me my opinion. I know nothing.
Okay, great. Boise Wrigley on X says this is for Kelly because Westgate Murray doesn't have KIV type income between madness, bowl seasons, MLB playoffs, World Cup, Euros, Breeders' Cup. Which is more worthy entertainment contest to travel to Vegas? So this is one of the things that, you guys used to do at the Westgate SuperBook. You guys used to open the contest early so that when people were there for March Madness, they could sign up. Do you guys know if your contests are going to be open?
No, I don't. It just didn't pencil out to do that. I mean, honestly, like it just wasn't worth it. I mean, we got a few signups, but I mean, unless we change our minds here, we're just going to go with July 1st.
Okay, that's kind of what I assumed.
I wouldn't say that's official, but unless something really significant changes, it'd be Tuesday, July 1, and then we would try to do the golf tournament on Saturday, August 16th.
I'll be in Ireland. Don't ask me to be there.
You'll already be in Ireland? Oh, then we'll probably have to move that up then, because we need Kelly. Kelly has a big role on that weekend, so we'll have to change that.
Please don't make me come to Vegas.
It's the best time of year to come to Vegas, August, when it's 125 degrees every day. You got to always accommodate your star, and play golf in the sun.
Yeah,
with a noon tea time.
Let me answer Boise Wrigley's question. So I think March Madness is number one, by far the best. Right? Mm-hmm. Super Bowl is fun, but Super Bowl is one day. You think I'm a miserable bitch right now after being on a cruise for 4 days? Try being in Vegas for 5 or 6 days during March Madness, where it is drink all day, eat a nice dinner, drink all night, have to be up on the West Coast for a 9:15 tip. But you really have to be up at 6 a.m. because you got to do 2 shows before the game's tip. Holy hell. I actually was like going through my phone and laughing at Ariel because we have a picture of Uncle Ben that says, "Shut up, liver, you're fine." And to the right of it is a picture of me in a Barstool hoodie with the things like squished laying in the booth at the Westgate on Sunday. And that was after you brought Chris Thurston a bottle of wine.
So to
answer the question, March Madness is by far the best.
So I would have said, I think, March Madness is number one, because in addition to everything Kelly just said, the weather is also great. So you can go play golf maybe if you want to get out. You're right.
And one of the days we went and saw Blakely at the pool, and we like hung out in the cabana, watched some of the games there. Because like once the games aren't like all lapped over top of each other, like on Sunday, there's just singular games. Like you can sit back and you can just go get some sunshine and enjoy your life after you make your bets.
I would have said years ago as a younger man, I would have probably picked college bowl season, because that was always my favorite time to bet. And they'd have the bowl games on during the day.
And nobody's there. Between like NFR and Christmas.
I know. That's one of the best times of year to come out here and get a cheap hotel room after the rodeo, like Kelly mentioned, before New Year's. Hotel room rates go way down, and the weather's still pretty nice in December, as Kelly knows. But then they change the way they do the bowl season. I guess it could still be cool now, though, because you get the first round of the playoffs.
That's true.
No, I mean, the correct answer has to be March Madness.
I would agree, but I also think Super Bowl gets a nod. Like, I know that this year was a little different because everybody went to Vegas for the Super Bowl 2 years ago, but I think Super Bowl is still a really fun time and a great week to be in Las Vegas and enjoy it. But like the MLB playoffs, I guess you could say, because it's probably a really good college football week too. It's probably week 6 of college football or something. And you're also going to get an NFL Sunday.
That's just a great time on the sports calendar, period.
That's what I mean.
October, you've got
it's October in Vegas.
Playoffs, college and pro football. Oh, and the weather's awesome. I mean, you want to talk about a good time of year to play golf at October.
October is the best month in Vegas, hands down, every single time.
Yeah, I would say that's probably true.
Okay. Vince and PGH. Oh, this one's Louis' burner account. Anything to report on the women's tournament?
I actually wrote down one play because I like Vince and PGH. Todd Furman tweeted out, what would be the advice you'd give people who are coming out to Vegas? I said, well, the best advice would be, and I'll say it again on the show, get multiple phone accounts so you don't have to wait in line all weekend. This isn't Disney World, right? If you don't want to go through that line all day, then you don't need to. So get yourself a phone account, sign up for a phone account, get multiple ones so you can get the best line. Make sure you get the Westgate one, because our sides are minus 109 on college basketball games. But Vince and PGH responded and said he didn't like betting on a phone account. He's old school. He wants a ticket. So here's a ticket I can give you on the women's tournament. They bet Iowa State minus 4.5 against Princeton. That line has moved up a little bit, but Iowa State against Princeton in the first round. I don't think that the women's tournament has as much juice this year because there's no Caitlin Clark. And I understand that that'll be probably
I
getting in
forgot
trouble
she
for
even
saying that.
existed. What happened to
Caitlin
her?
Clark-
She's
well,
like
because-
out of the media cycle.
Well, she's in the WNBA, so people don't care anymore. But,
Okay, great.
Like the last couple of years when she was in the NCAA tournament, it was awesome for business. I mean, it was like that. There was a regional final last year. I think it was on a Monday night, and it was Iowa against
South
LSU.
Carolina. Oh,
and
LSU,
we did
that's
a
right.
ton of business on that game.
Her versus Angel Reese.
It was awesome.
I was in Boston for that game.
It was awesome. It was really like tons of people were talking about it. Tons of people were betting on it. It just shows you there is an appetite there for the women's game if it's done correctly. Iowa LSU was very good.
All right. Betting_cheese on X says, who is the biggest high-seeded fraud in the tournament?
Fraud? I don't know. What seed is Kentucky?
I think it's Drake. That's why I'm betting against him. I don't think Drake's
Okay.
any good.
Okay. What seed is Kentucky? What seed? I don't have a bracket. I don't think I've ever actually looked at the bracket.
I don't look at the brackets either.
I would say I don't really think I think they're a little bit overseeded, but I don't know what seed they are.
Are they that high of a seed?
Aren't they? Or am I thinking of
no
somebody
idea.
else? Maybe it's not them.
There are so many pop-ups I want to throw. My computer.
I do think I've talked to some guys that I do respect, and they do think that this could be chalky. They think that there's like really good 1 and 2 seeds this season, and that it could be a pretty chalky tournament.
I was gonna say that I hope it's a chalky tournament because I've got all the chalk. I need wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be great if Houston played Florida? Then I would just not have to hedge.
I always catch flack for saying this, but I don't really like having the Cinderellas go too far because I think it creates these duds of matchups. You know, like you get to the Sweet 16, it's like Fairleigh Dickinson is playing. It's like what's going on here? You know what I mean? So didn't he go to Iona? I'm not sure, but I want there to be upsets Thursday and Friday to knock out all those money line parlays.
I love upsets.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay.
Let's get the Cinderellas out of the way on Saturday and Sunday. Let's go to, and by the way, to answer Boise Wrigley's question, next weekend is a great weekend to come here because you can hang out during the day, go to the pool, play golf. The games start around 4:00. I'm talking about the Sweet 16. And don't forget Q&A, John Murray, Christian Leitner at the Westgate next Saturday. Come on now, Kelly.
Oh, boy. Okay. Mets, Jets, 1926. Since 2018, 10 versus 7 seeds win at a 50% clip. What's your favorite 10 upset? Who are the 10s? Producer Louie, can you drop them in the chat? Because I couldn't get the stupid bracket to populate.
I'll need Kelly to answer that one.
I understand I'm supposed to answer, but
Kelly,
that's
you have to answer anything about seeds because
okay, hold on. 10 seeds are not there. Arkansas, no. I like Kansas. New Mexico could beat Marquette. That could be interesting. Vanderbilt, you mentioned, was sharp versus St. Mary's.
Yeah.
And I like Utah State possibly to beat UCLA. Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough. Okay. Next question.
I'll say Vanderbilt. No, you froze, or I froze. I don't know. But Vanderbilt's my answer.
Okay. Steve Murin, 73. Nope. Yeah. What? You guys have all the same damn questions. Highest seed to go the furthest in the tournament. So John Murray says he doesn't want any Cinderellas. But the highest seed you think that goes the furthest with your email still going off?
We have a prop on which double-digit seed will advance the furthest. I can tell you who people bet on. They bet on VCU. They bet VCU from 14-1 all the way to plus 850. That one for sure is a big one. And also, they bet on UC San Diego. Everybody's the Big West champs. Everybody's darling. They bet down from 10-1 to 8-1. And Jay Cornegay's Colorado State Rams. They were 8-1, now 5-1. So if one of those double-digit seeds goes far, be bad news around here, kid.
Oh, boy, you're going to get fired. The pint glass guy on X says, Do you guys have any bracket filling methods or patterns you always use? For example, do you always be sure to pick at least 1, 12, or 5? As I mentioned, I don't ever do a bracket. Bets over brackets. I haven't done a bracket in years, except for the Viva guys, wherever the hell they are. The Viva guys put together a bracket challenge, and I did do it. And I have Florida playing Houston like a chalk-eating fucking weasel.
Do you feel embarrassed to have 2 1 seeds in the championship game?
Yeah.
You do?
Just,
Why?
like, it's boring.
What's the difference?
I don't know. I want there to be upsets, just not this year, because I've never been in a position like this to be having 3 tickets. 2 of them are 1 seeds and 1's a 3 seed.
Who played in the national championship game last year, and what seeds were they?
UConn was a 1 seed. They were the number 1 overall 1 seed, weren't they?
Probably, yeah, sure. Who did they play?
I don't remember.
Who did they play? They played Purdue. Remember. Who was a 1 seed? Purdue, a 1 seed.
Yeah. I remember North Carolina State was in there because they were the Cinderella. See, you remember the Cinderellas. You don't remember the other ones.
Yeah, North Carolina State lost to Purdue in the first game. Second game, UConn beat Alabama. Then the 2 1 seeds played. UConn won. I'll say I like Kelly's final. I don't have any tips on how to fill out a bracket. First of all, I need to get one of these kids to print me a bracket. Then I'll take a look at. Then I'll consider filling one out. I don't know where my guys are. I need somebody to print me a bracket. I'll fill one out.
I think I just saw on X that JH was walking around with Oscar Goodman around the Westgate. So
it's a little busy today. It's a little busy today here at the Westgate, but it's a good kind of busy. Definitely not complaining about that. Like to be busy for March Madness. We got a lot of VIPs in. Thursday, Friday, totally sold out. Kelly breaking my balls. She wants tickets for her friends.
But you didn't even write me back.
I forgot.
Can you get me a couple wristbands for the theater, please? They're not asking for much.
I can do that for you, Kelly. I can absolutely get you some wristbands for the theater. Anything else you want to say? I will say this: the way it's being bet, the way that the tournament stuff is being bet, you would think that Florida already won the national championship. The way these guys are betting on
that's not what I wanted to hear.
You'd think why even play the next 3 weeks? That the Gators are the national champions. That's the way these
look
tournament
too
clubs,
good in the SEC tournament.
Awesome.
I said that.
Awesome.
Fuck me.
That coach is
too early.
Coach is awesome. They look awesome.
We got to back it up. Now we can't end the show. How the fuck do I hedge this ticket? I can't. I have 40-1.
Well, you can't do it. You don't. Well, are there any books that you play with that have yes, no, like field versus team versus the field? I should say.
No,
not
right
you sure
now.
About that?
I can look. You know what? I have not done a deep dive in the Florida app, so I'll do a deep dive, see if I can find anything there. I just went to the regular basketball. I didn't look at props.
You're so well positioned right now. There's no way you should do anything before this weekend. That'd be crazy.
Well, not before this weekend, but do you think that these books are going to actually keep that up live? Yes, no?
I think so. I think it would actually make more sense to do it later in the tournament than to do it just for 64 teams, 68 teams. I think
they're minus 130 to win the West.
Yeah. I did get a bracket. I got an online bracket on up here now. I need to get one of those hand brackets. Like when I was a kid, my mom
handwrite it.
No, my mom would cut the bracket out of the Washington Post for us. It was before the internet. Now that's
one. You all 3 kids had to share one bracket, or she get 3?
Oh, yeah, no. My sister was really interested in filling out a bracket. She really cared a lot.
I was a kid.
Well, she didn't care much. But yeah, now that publication is known as the Fake News Washington Post. I don't know if they still do brackets. But back then, before we canceled our subscription, we would cut it out of the paper, fill it out. I'm looking at it now.
We're going off the rails now. We're going off the rails. We made almost the whole show, and now here we go.
I just am who I am. Florida will play the winner of UConn and Oklahoma in the second round. I mean, I guess Connecticut could give them a scare if they beat Oklahoma. I don't know. That's hard for me to believe. I mean, Florida looks to be so good this season. I
can't believe how bad I feel about having this 40-1 ticket. I can't. I like.
You guys. I will say, considering that Florida just rolled through the best conference in the country's tournament, they do have a pretty tough bracket. I'd much rather have Duke's bracket. I think.
Yeah,
that's just me. I think Florida's got a tough bracket.
The good news is that they do play Texas Tech Florida, if they do play Texas Tech, if Texas Tech makes it, Florida makes it. I think it's to the Elite Eight. I've got one team.
Would you be pissed if the Final Four was like 4 SEC teams? Would you be like really sour about that?
No, I've been saying they're the best conference the whole time. I just didn't think they deserved to get 14 teams in. And now I'm on one of the 14 teams I said didn't get a deserve to be in. So you guys are going to clip that and make me look like a jackass on TikTok.
Well, I think you did that to yourself. Do you want to do a show? Are you going to be stateside a week from today, the 26th?
Yeah.
Will you be in this time zone? Why don't we?
I will not be in your time zone. I'll be in this time zone.
You'll be in that time zone. So you want to shoot to do a show Wednesday, the 26th. We'll talk about the week that was. I'll complain about the results so that the people on TikTok can get fired up and laugh at me. And we can talk about the Sweet 16. How's that sound?
Sounds wonderful. I'm going to bed. I'm exhausted. I'm never, ever doing this to myself ever again.
You look great. You look great for somebody that's like.
I look great. Look, I just pushed my forehead and it just stayed. Like I don't look great. I feel like my body is like moving.
Yeah.
And I feel like
doesn't look like it's moving.
Oh my God. I feel awful. I feel like I got 1 hour and 52 minutes of sleep last night, according to my Aura ring. 1 hour and 52 minutes. And I went to bed. I said, I'm going to go on a run. I went on a blackjack run, hit a bunch of cash, paid off some of my my money that they love to just give you on your wristband. It's perfect for drunks. Here, give me another dime. Here, give me another dime. Like, what? You should never let me do that. You guys should do that at the Westgate. But
a dime is $1,000 for you normal people like me.
So I paid a nice chunk of my bill off. I was like, all right, I'm going to take a little bit left. Oh my God. See, I'm moving again. I feel like I'm on a fucking cruise ship. Anyway, so I paid up my bill and Ariel was like, you said you're going to bed at 10:30. And I go, it's 10:17. I got 13 minutes, went back to high limit, won another $1,500. Then I was like, all right, I'm going to bed. I went to bed like a responsible adult at 10:30, knowing we had to be up at 7 a.m. It was not my fault. All the drunks came into my room at 12:30, came into my room at 2 a.m. And then the boat was rocking really bad last night. And I was just like, I can't do this. Like, I'm just going to jump off the top.
All I said was you look nice. And then you went on a 2-minute rant about your wristband. And I mean, what the hell are you talking about? You take the compliment, dude. Take the compliment.
Okay,
you look nice. Close the show. Get out of here. Leave me alone.